Hello everybody, this is Alex from Hardcoring Guys with my guide for Devil May Cry 4 on Dante Must Die difficulty. Today we're doing Mission 9 entitled For You. This is on your For You page. Welcome back to more Devil May Cry 4. It's been a bit, hasn't it? Yeah, because I've been getting really lazy with this stuff. I finished all the Nero stuff like a while ago. I think I told you guys that too. And I'm up to, I think, like, starting chapter 15 still. I've barely been recording the gameplay. It's crazy. Well, starting off with this, you gotta fight two of the regular statue angel enemies, and then, of course, the more elite one. And the thing is, I never pull it off very well, but there is a void attack when there's like an elite with the other ones that he does. And if you use like a buster shot and you time it just right, you can explode all three at once and get you like, I think, a triple S almost immediately. It's really cool. But in terms of advice, you're just gonna have to do the same thing you've been doing pretty much. Whatever that works for you to fight them, because there's really nothing more that I can discuss about these guys at all, at least for Nero. Because Nero, it's going to be the same gameplay loop for pretty much the rest of the game for him. And then once we get to Dante stuff, which I keep, hyping up and talking about, once we get to the Dante stuff, that's when it's going to be harder. Also, there's a boss fight at the end of the chapter with, I think, Agnes was his name. Agnes de. And yeah, you think I would know that. You think I would know his name. I've played Devil May Cry 4 for like 20 years now. God, has it really been 20 years? This game came out in like, what, 2008? 2007? Oh, dear God. That's insane. Alright, so I'm charging up here because I know what's going to happen. There's going to be a big fight, and you have to deal with a lot of these swords running around. And I hate to be honest, but there's not really any great advice I have. One thing that I tend to try to do is just go into DT immediately. If you do have items, you can use them if you wish. You can use Holy Water here to probably just get rid of all these guys. But the reason why I go into DT is because, one, health regen, two, multiple slash, and three, I have the grab for the swords that lets me spin around. So if anybody tries to grab, or any swords try to hit me, well, in doing it, I'm hoping that they'll get hit by it instead. It's really just a gauntlet of... It's just a survival gauntlet, and I don't think that, at least in my opinion, Devil May Cry works great when it comes to gauntlet-type fights, but that's just me. I'm not a fan of them. I've always been a fan more of, like, the one-on-one type thing, which is partly why I don't play Legendary Dark Knight mode very often, because I just get kind of tired of fighting so many waves of enemies at once. Even though I'm a Dynasty Warriors type guy, I don't think that, for me personally, it works great with that. And then, of course, once you knock them down to, like, maybe one or two more swords, Buster, I keep saying Buster, Charge Shot works great against blowing them up. And even if they have DT, they don't take too long to kill, even afterward. So, again, you're the basic Nero combo situation, but this time you have to deal with all the swords. And like I said, you don't have to be like me. And if you want to use an item and use Holy Water, just go right for it. I mean, who cares? I'm trying my best not to use items, so that way I can do what I can at a very just pure skill level. So that way anybody that's watching can be like, okay, I'll use his skills or use his advice, and then I'll use items on top of that if need be. Because to be fair, I used items in Bayonetta, so I don't know, I have no pride anymore. Alright, Scarecrows. Pretty easy stuff. Nothing too hard. But speaking of hard, this is probably one of the hardest chapters to beat anyway, because now we have to deal with the glacier guys, and of course, like, the sword room. And then we don't have access to the Chronos thing until after the swords, so we couldn't have time stopped, which, by the way, when you come back to this area and you have the Chronos thing, you can use that to your advantage in the angel statue fight. So, also for these guys, just keep one of them off screen. That way they don't attack you, because if they're off screen, they really just don't aggro very often. So, that's just a Devil May Cry thing in general, but it does work with these guys really well, I've noticed. You can see me just doing it all the time. Especially in later chapters when I have to fight more of them. I think we fight the ice dudes pretty soon. Yeah, ignore the terrible jumping things that I do. I think there's a secret mission and or blue orb fragment in that area. Yeah, I'm just as baffled as you are that I have all the blue orbs. Don't ask me how. I did all the secret missions, I did all that stuff, but I'm surprised I even did it myself. Alright, for the ice guys, it's the same trick, same song and dance. You just want to kind of grab them out of air, or just in general. Just go for, like, you know, a buster grab type thing. You know, like the lock-on grab. The Devil Bringer, I think it's supposed to be called. God, has it really been that long since I played Devil May Cry 4? And then, of course, just keep, you know, consistently jumping to give yourself the iframes, and then DT if necessary. And obviously, you know, Nero, Red Queen Charge, Max Exceed type stuff. I know, from here on out, it's pretty much just going to be the same thing for a while with the Nero topic. I think that's partly why I don't want to do commentary, because everything is the same. There's nothing I can really give you advice on in terms of Nero stuff, because it's Nero. I mean, you just kind of do, you know, God of War type stuff and just hit guys in the head a few times until they die, and then you're good to go. I mean, that doesn't work all the time, but I do feel like a lot of Nero's simplistic playstyle really lends itself to being a lot more easier to take care of and deal with. Now, of course, you're going to have, you know, fights like Sanctus and stuff like that will probably give some people some trouble, I'm sure. It gives me trouble. I mean, who am I to talk about anything at all? Lizard guys, once again, you've already fought them plenty of times by now. If you gotten this far in DMD mode, most likely you're probably good enough to beat the game. At least the Nero side of it. And, like, Dante learning, you know, you can learn very basic Dante stuff and still get away with it just fine. You can play Dante like you kind of do with Nero. This is the part that does suck, though. It's getting attacked by Blitz right after you have to deal with the lizards. I don't know who thought this was a good idea, but they're an asshole. Now, of course, when I'm fighting Blitz, I just do the same techniques that I always do. There is some videos online that do actually show you better ways to fight them. I don't remember the guy's name, but if you look up Blitz Easy Kill, you can find him. And he makes really good stuff for both characters on how to kill Blitz fast. So if you want to look into that, I would suggest that. I always could just link the video in the description. I put in my likes for later, so I could actually link it at some point. But I might save that for the video that I actually use his trick in, to be fair. Yeah, I'll save it till then. But there is a video out there for you guys that you can find. I just do the Nero stuff I do. I think he does pretty much close to the same, where I'm just doing buster shit. I mean, of course he goes for grabs and then, you know, DT stuff, but I just do the typical buster stuff, the same old, same old. Alright, now it's time for Agnes' fight. And, you know, when he's glowing, you know, when he's not glowing is when he's going to get stunned. When he summons swords, they do stay out unless you kill them first. But you can, thankfully, hit them even though he's summoning them. This is probably one of the easier boss fights to deal with, personally. But the problem is he's kind of random. And I think every time you get a kill, I think they give you DT orbs, I believe. Yes, they give you DT orbs back. So this fight in particular, pretty much just wants you to use DT for it. And just, pretty much just be hyper aggressive. That's Nero's whole entire system, is just being hyper aggressive and always just landing charge shots, such like that, you know. And then, of course, when you're attacking him in air, you want to do Exceed at the same time. When he's doing that void thing, immediately go try to attack him the best you can. Do a roulette spin, which is just triangle, triangle, wait, triangle, triangle in air. Do that so you can at least get some decent combo damage on him, and especially do it while in DT. And then for the dogs, when they spawn, it's the same thing. You know, grab them, shoot them at him, DT, and kill him, slash him, that sort of thing. I know, I sound like a broken record, I get it. The fish are actually pretty easy to dodge, funny enough, in a weird way. Like, you just do the jump dodge thing and it works just fine. This one's a bit more harder to dodge, because of how slow and weird it is to deal with, but if you jump back multiple times, you should be okay. And then save your double jump for like when you really need to. But again, this fight's pretty much just aggressive play. Not much else I can really say. So, there you go. That's it. And see you in the next one. And as always, take care, everybody.